This Works is a skincare and wellness brand. We have been around for over 20 years and I've been leading the brand for the last 15. So very much a lifetime project for me.
And the main thing This Works is known for is its products based around sleep. And let's just have a discussion about sleep and why it matters, and does it matter in terms of both the way we look and the way we feel.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right, we talk a lot about sleep, but actually our concept is anchored in the understanding of circadian rhythm, the body clock. And the body clock controls most of our bodily functions and is set by the sun, by light. And so when we talk about sleep, we don't just talk about what goes on at night. We also talk about what goes on during the 24 hours and educating our customers and our community about what they can do to support their circadian rhythm and the dangers of having a desynchronized circadian rhythm. So if you choose to ignore the sun going up and the sun going down and live a life that's always on, exposure to artificial light, eating at the wrong times, then you will desynchronize your circadian rhythm.
That sounds a bit like me. Wait, what happens if you desynchronize your circadian
all kinds
rhythm?
Of bad things. You're going to need to speak a lot more to Alice about the treatments because poor sleep. I'm sure most people now are aware that poor sleep has such a fundamental impact on health, on well-being, on mental health, but also on how we look and our appearance. And it's interesting, there was a study that was done in 2010 which looked actually at how people perceive people who are tired. So they sleep deprived group of people, men and women, and then 60 people evaluated their appearance after only one night of sleep deprivation. And because even just one night of poor sleep can have an impact on the way that the skin looks on the face. And that includes your eyelids hanging, dullness, dehydrated skin slackening, dark circles around the eyes. We can talk about why if you want to go into that, but that's what we see. So
did the group know that this group, could they tell straight away that these people hadn't had a good night's sleep?
They knew that they'd been sleep deprived, but they were asked to evaluate their health, their attractiveness and their tiredness. And this is where the idea of beauty sleep comes from. And actually they were perceived as being less attractive.
Because they were tired.
And so it's not a myth, this idea of beauty sleep. So as a brand that's in the space of cosmetics, we have been there for the entirety of our existence. When we first started to talk to consumers, to retailers, to the community, actually sleep is the first step in anybody's beauty routine. Before you get to the need to put on the makeup and add the face creams and then end up with treatments, it starts with sleep, because sleep underpins, yes, we talked about health, but in the skin, in terms of skin and what goes on, the nighttime is the right time, is when all of the repair, the detoxification, cellular repair takes place. So if we are shortening that amount of time, then you're basically your skin is less able to repair itself. It's more vulnerable. Skin integrity is compromised. So the skin barrier that everyone talks about these days is compromised when we have less sleep, because the skin is less able to keep that skin barrier intact. And that has ramifications. Skin is drier, skin becomes sensitive. So there's so much to say, so much you can say about the link between sleep and skin health and how we look. So over the long term, someone who's got compromised sleep is more likely to age more quickly and see wrinkles more quickly. But in the short term, even if we're losing sleep on a couple of days a week, skin is less elastic, it's more dehydrated and therefore less elastic, and it looks drier, the luminosity decreases, so the skin looks paler, it's less luminous, blood flow is reduced. So it's surprising actually how much actually does go on at night and what we're doing to our skin if we're not getting enough sleep.
So all the women who come on this programme and the viewers are ambitious, determined, driven women. Hopefully I'm not the only one whose brain comes alive at 11 o'clock at night and will often then find myself on my laptop, or someone who gets up super early in order to get through emails the next day. So I'm sure I do a lot of things that overtly disrupt my circadian rhythm and sleep. What are your tips for someone like me?
You in particular, your phone needs to be left somewhere else in the house and locked away, because you're very determined. So, and I know all the rules too, but I can also have my phone in my room and then be tempted to scroll. I think you have to put rigor in. You have to protect your sleep as you protect other things about your life that you value. So if we go to the gym, or we follow food protocols that we care about, we have to be disciplined with our sleep. So setting a regular sleep time and sticking to it, because the rhythm, circadian rhythm, that way will be respected. So try to go to bed at the same time every night and try and wake up at the same time every morning. And if you track your sleep through any kind of tracker, you'll see that will protect the deep sleep, which happens at the beginning of your night. So you're more likely to get your sufficient deep sleep. And so that's really important, going to bed regularly, but also putting the device away and keeping...
So you feel phones are responsible for our disrupted sleep?
You've got exposure to the light, which affects melatonin. Melatonin is the sleep hormone and is compromised by artificial light. So you need to reduce the amount of lighting, full stop, overhead light in your house, bright lights in your house, but also the amount of light that's going into your i3 devices and screens. Really important to reduce it in the evening, but having sufficient light during the day is important. So for you, Tash, I would say, have you been outside this morning? When you got up this morning, how much natural daylight did you get in the first hour after waking? Because many of us go from our homes to our offices, we stay in our offices all day, we come home, and we haven't been exposed to natural light. And humans need light. They need natural daylight.
What do you do? Because you do get natural light every morning, don't you? Because you are, well, as such a sleep expert.
Yes, of course.
What do you do?
So I make myself walk the dog. Yeah. Because A, he needs to go. That's why I got a dog. But also because I know then I'm doing minimum of 20 minutes outside and I'm getting that light in that first couple of hours after I wake up. So always do that. We take your coffee outside if you can bear it. Take your cup of tea outside in the morning if you can. Yeah, sit next to the windows, but you're not going to get enough really good quality light. You can use Lumi lights or an equivalent to stimulate, especially in these darker months. I have one on my desk. For the first half of the day, I'm exposed to artificial light from the Lumis on my desk in the morning. So taking light's really important. Another thing I'd say to busy women and men is, and this is something that I didn't really appreciate fully until the last few years, is we need to rest in the day. So if you want to sleep well at night, you need to manage your stress hormones and you need to give your brain, you need to give some time away so your brain can switch out of its focus and concentration mode, which typically is the sympathetic nervous system. So if we can take time in the day to rest for 10 minutes, do something that takes your eyes away from the screen, you're looking into the distance, you're disengaging from your technology, you're allowing your body to just go into a restorative function ideally, that, weirdly enough, improves your sleep quality at night. So daylight, regular times, getting rest during the day, and all the normal things. Don't drink caffeine, don't eat late at night, take your regular meal times.
Yeah.